So, I have one quick question. Has anybody here served in the military? Please stand up. And we want to honor you, yes, for your service. This holidays for you, for your... Well, I wasn't going to bring that up. Woo! She said, I've messed around with a lot of guys in the military. That's the laughter we need, yes. Oh, my goodness.
We supported for many years.
Sue, what?
DOD contractor.
DOD contractor, there you go, yeah. And then we have, I thought Jody was going to be online. Jody has also been in military for a very long time, in the Navy. He's done some, yeah, pretty amazing. So today is about the steps we take. I found this really cool meme that I thought said so much. The first step towards getting somewhere is deciding that you are not going to stay where you are. And that really is the bottom line. You finally go, that's it, I'm done. Anybody been done? Okay, good. We all have been done. Yes. Thank you, God, right? Reverend Sherry last week talked about visioning. It's interesting, as I was supposed to speak last week about this topic, and then she was going to do well, anyway, we got mixed up. I got mixed up. But she talked about visioning, and it actually is so much more perfect that I'm talking about the steps this week. Because you really, when you finally get to, I'm done, you start thinking, well, what do I want? Where do I want to go? And over the years, people have come to me and they'll say, I'm done, I want to, or I'm lost and I want to, and they ask me, how do you do that? And today you're going to get to do that. Yay. And it's and I have the same thing. I say the same thing every time. You have to ask your heart what it wants. What does your heart actually want to have happen in your life? And it can be either a short process sometimes or it's really long. Mine was really, really long. But we have to get it. How many people here were taught don't listen to your heart when you're growing up? Yeah, your heart will lead you in the wrong place. Yeah. I'm here to say your heart's the only place that can lead you. But we tend to forget that that's an important part of our body. So, but the key is to connect the head and the heart, so then you move forward. There's more to this than just that. So, I've asked them to hand something out to you. It's going to look like this. So if you could hand this out. And there should be a pin on your chair or in front of you, something like that. And we'll give one of these to you. So the side you want is going to be what makes my heart sing. That's the side you're going to want. And for those of you online, it looks like this. So you can create a circle and then a heart inside and write those words down. Everybody got it? We need a pin back here. Everybody got a pin? Now, if you need something to write on, we can get you a magazine. Everybody have a pen? Okay. So let me start with this. How many here are searching for something? Everybody raise your hand. You're all searching. I don't care where you are, what your age is. You're all searching for something. Even me. I'm always searching. Right? I put down for love, for a job, to retire. Let's see, I'm trying to search how to retire. Education, peace. There's something inside you that says, I need this. I want something different. So, first I want to say this piece of paper is for your eyes only. This is not for your neighbor, not for your best friend. This is for you. And the reason why is I want you to be totally honest. Totally honest with yourself. And you need to protect that right now. Protect that honesty about yourself. So, if you're searching for something, this heart actually represents God. Because you're going to take the head, the heart, and the divine, and you're going to pull it all together. And you're going to just ask yourself, what makes my heart sing around this thing that you're thinking about? Does everybody get that? So while I'm talking today, I don't want you to work on it right now. While I'm talking today, if something comes up, just write a word or two. Do not write a paragraph. Do not write a paragraph, because what will happen over time is that you'll start to have a lot of words, and they make no sense at all. But I want you to work on this for a couple of weeks. Not just today and tomorrow, but for a couple of weeks. And just throw the word in there. Oh, this is what I really want. This is what I really want. This is what I really want. And pretty soon you'll have a theme. And the theme is where it's going to direct you. So think about the theme of it. And we always get the best answer when we're not expecting it, right? So that's what I want you to do with that. Then on the back, once you've got that down, on the back, it says, what are the possible steps? So you cannot go to the steps until you spent time on the front page a long time. The thing is, if we step over what God wants us to do, we forget about what we really want. And we tend to just go with the flow, with it, the thing, opposed to what's my heart really want me to do. And I know all of us have something going on. So give your heart and your mind and God some time. And then I'm really curious to see in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, you come back to me and say, I did that, and here's what's going on. Because we have so many tools here at home and so many programs here to help you along the way. This will be a really fun exercise for you. Okay? So are you willing to do that? I mean, really try. Really try. Okay. Where are we at here? My little computer's doing something weird here. Stop. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so that was the second side. So for those of you online, this is the second side. Jody, we just gave honoring you, by the way. I know that you just got online. Anyway, thank you for your service to our country. Greatly appreciated. So here's the thing that we're trying to do. Alignment is a vibration, a movement of energy that feels grounded and enlightened and propels you to gracefully forward towards your values. So what we're doing here is we're aligning your head, your heart, and your dreams with your values, which are critical. If we don't align those, you're going to do this. You're going to make mistakes. The thing that's important about all of this is do not evaluate it. I remember when I was going through my stuff, I would beat myself up because it has to be done this way, or I want to be like that person. And I evaluated myself. And when I finally stopped doing that, asking the how and the why, all of a sudden my life started to flow better. Instead of just saying, okay, I made a mistake. Now, I like to punish myself, though, so I did it 3 times. I did. And by the time the second time I went, okay, I'll let you do it one more time. I had a conversation with myself around this. Because I really needed to know. I really needed to honor what Reverend Sherry said last week, which was, Ernest Holmes says, test this stuff. Try this out. See if it works. If it doesn't work, what do, everybody? You go the other way. You turn around. You try something different. Yep. Science Mind says this. It says, in essence, what we may perceive as the ultimate goal in our present understanding is merely the beginning of a new and deeper level of growth and evolution. Our journey towards self-actualization and authenticity, supported by our values, is a continuous cycle of expansion and transformation. Continuous expansion and transformation. So the bottom line is you're evolving. As I said in the beginning, I said, You know, when you started this stuff, you were here. Then you went to here. Then you went to here. Then you went to here. And you think differently. You don't think the way you did when you first started and you didn't know anybody and you were lost and your life had gone to, you know what. You think differently. Now you think like, what can I do different to make my life even better than it is? Today, I can remember one conversation, and this is not in here, but one conversation I had with Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn, who is my minister. And I've been a minister for, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years. And I said, Kathy, I have the greatest life I could ever imagine. I feel honored to be where I'm at. And I still feel that way because I feel like I've been given the key to the kingdom, and I get to give you the key every single time I talk. Because all I want you to have is the best life you could ever have. That is all I want. I have so much fun watching you grow. It's like you're like my children. I didn't have any kids. You're my adult children. And you're beautiful. No, it's all good. It's all good. What was that?
We'll pray for you.
Thank you. I prayed for you. Last night I couldn't sleep. I started praying. So, and it's interesting. This week I've had this conversation, and last week I had this conversation with a couple people here too. But I'm just going to reveal myself now. When I had a conversation, I won't say who it was, but I'll get that conversation in a minute. Let me finish what I was going to do here. Okay, I guess it's a good time. Let me think how I want to do this. Okay, everybody knows that I started, not everybody, I've started what I call a workbook, okay? And the reason why I started this is because in the process of doing my thesis, I realized that science of mind is really hard. It's hard to understand. Spirituality is hard to understand. How do you find yourself, right? How do you find yourself through this maze of words and people and universal principles and how the universe works? How do you do that? And so through this, talking to my person, Dean, I thought, I'm motivated by this. Now, here's where I want you to go with this. When I first started Science of Mind, it was so hard to understand, subconscious, subjective conscious. You know where I'm going, those words? When I became a practitioner, I said, how do I study for these? He said, go in the glossary. So I read the glossary in the Science of Mind textbook. Oh my God, I didn't even need that. But it was hard. It was complicated. And then when my life was a mess, it was even worse because I was worried about myself and then trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm going to tell you the things that I went through, and these also apply to you, I think. And if they don't, then God bless you. I hope it doesn't. But I had to heal first. I had to heal my stuff. I had to heal that I lost everything in my life. Everything, my home, my dog, my house, my business, everything. I had to heal that. I had to learn how to go to the beach and feel God at the beach and say, this beach belongs to me, and I don't have to own it. But that's healing. That's part of it. I had to recreate myself, and what was that going to look like? I can remember when I couldn't even hold a screwdriver, and I'm really good at stuff, carpentry and measuring with just a string. I know how to do that, but I had to figure out how to do this again. It was not fun, and I didn't trust anybody. Did anybody? You remember what I'm talking about? You don't trust anybody, right? I had to get in alignment with my new values. What are my values now? I had just lost everything. I tell you this because I think we all have the same story. We all have the same story, and then we beat ourselves up because we went through this. You have to go through this in order for you to realize, I deserve more. You have to go through this so you believe in yourself. Only you can believe in yourself. Now, I can believe in you all day long, but you have to believe in yourself. I had to understand the language and what I call the process of the universe. Simple, very simple. Take a word up there. Freedom. Just take a word. How does the universe read freedom? And how do I read freedom? Well, freedom to me was letting go of a relationship that was an alcoholic relationship that was against all my values, that blah, 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 blah. How did the universe respond to that? Now, if I decided I wanted to go have a drink, freedom was the drink. Or it was, no, I don't want to do that anymore. It was my choices around that. The other thing, and I think this is so important, is I had to not give up. I see so many people give up when they're just about there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't give up. You got to push through till you get to the other side. It's not easy. It is not easy. So as a result of I say these because I think these are universal things that happen to us. As a result, I'm creating this. And thank God I have a few of you that want to help me with it. But basically it's taking, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but it's taking, I call it many thoughts, many ideas, many ways of personal spirituality for all. It's taking several religions of different faiths, different philosophies, and trying to mesh words that we all have in common. We have things in common. So here's one, abundance mindset. You go to a church and say, oh yeah, you can be abundant. What the hell does that mean? What does that really mean? Well, it means you have to have an idea. You okay in there? She okay? You have to have in your mind that you're worthy of it. You're worthy of it. So anyway, the idea behind this is there's a word. There are quotes in here, so you get to meditate on those daily. And then there's a process. So the example I'm going to give you is the process in this first one is that I want everybody to get a $100 bill. How many people have done the $100 bill thing? A few of you. Okay, good. When you hold a $100, I now hold a $100 bill with me all the time because it makes me feel prosperous. And I know if I ever need it, it's there. In fact, I was thinking this week, I remember when I was in my other business, I had gotten some investors. And when the business split up, I paid off my half of the investors. In fact, there's one person who said, no, I'll just write it off. And I can't remember their name. Because now I'm in a prosperous position where I'd like to send them $1,000. Thank God. But I couldn't have done that when I first started. I had no idea that I could have done that. But it's the process of moving to that mindset where I believe in my prosperity. I have been a commissioned salesperson for over 35 years. Commission. I can remember when I got a $100 commission check. Now, I won't work for less than that, an hour. And I say these things to you not because I'm bragging. I'm saying these things to you because I have this now new mindset that says, you know what, I am valuable. And I tell you this not because of me, because you are valuable. Everything that you do, you think, you say, you act is valuable. Valuable to the expansion of the world. And the world needs you. It really needs you more than anything. So, in fact, I put a note here. You'll notice that many TV ministers are starting to sound a lot like us. How many people watch Joel Osteen? Okay. This is, what's that? You don't like him?
No, I don't.
I'm sorry. I just listen for his jokes. The first thing he says is a joke. And he's usually pretty good. He's usually pretty good at that. So he's got it, though. He understands. He has 14,000 people, so he must be doing something right. But here's the thing that I thought about that, is that the reason why they are doing this, and this is really important, is they have realized that we're all intelligent. And many will no longer follow what we don't believe. We're not going to follow something we don't believe. In other words, we're not leaving it up to the minister to tell us. We have to embody it. We have to feel it. We have to know it. So we're going to talk about, and I want to thank George Thorne. There's a workbook that I leave out there. And George Thorne, bless his heart, I wish he were here. He's somewhere, someplace. I love him. Anyway, George helped create a workbook that we have here. That's just a little handbook, and it takes, I think there are 8 principles in there that are from there. And he takes quotes from famous authors, and he takes Ernest Holmes, and he puts them page to page. So you can see, oh, let's see. So-and-so said this, and Ernest said, that's the same thing, just a different word. And the reason that we did this is because I feel anyway, that we look like a mystery out there, and we're not a mystery. And so this helps to kind of bridge that a little bit. Anyway, I'm a big expansion on this. I've already got like 90 pages. Of course, only 30 are done. But that's how important I feel this is. Now, I'm telling you this because I'm evolving.
Yep, you are.
I'm evolving, and I know that's happening to me. And I'm glad I'm evolving because I feel like I'm fulfilling something new. I'm doing something new, which hopefully this will benefit a lot of people. It's the bigger story for me. So we're going to talk about 3 things today. We're going to talk about aligning, the importance of aligning with your values. We must have intention with clarity, and we must take action for good of all. And that's kind of hard. I can remember when I lost my life, and I finally went, no, you know what? I don't have to do anything to that person. God's going to do it for me. Karma's going to do it for me. Something else is going to happen. I don't have to put them in their right place. I'm the one that's free. They're the one that's stuck. I got it. And that was probably one of my very first lessons. So alignment. Alignment is a state of being where our values, thoughts, beliefs, and actions seamlessly come together. This is where we consciously are aware of our values. Do you know what your values are?
Yep.
This is where we consciously say, I'm not doing that anymore. Or we consciously start to shape our thoughts as we're making mistakes. And eventually we get through our belief system. I think I said a couple of weeks ago, in regards to Sherry that was speaking, that was last week, that our thought, what we think, we say, and we do became in alignment, which is so critical. So critical. Because if we don't, there's chaos, or there's confusion, or there's a feeling inside of us that says, oh, I don't want to go there anymore. And then we have to readjust. I'm going to put a quote up here. I don't know if you can all read it, but it's something that we've all read before. But I thought it was so profound because it's truly talking about aligning everything within us. So I'll read it out. Until one is committed, here's the commitment part. There's hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there's one elementary truth, the ignorance which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things, and this is true, this latter part, all sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issued from the decision raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Couplets? You know what I mean. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. This is just such a profound statement, and I think over the years I've used it several times, but it's like we got to get it. We got to get it. If we pull it all together, that's why this little piece of paper that really doesn't look like much of anything has a lot of power. The power is not the paper. The power is you putting the words on the paper and then saying, I believe in myself. No matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like. It may not look very pretty. My life did not look very pretty for a long, long time. But I kept trying to figure it out. See, alignment does this. It enhances our self-awareness. We start to pay attention. We start to watch things outside our life. We start to go, I can remember trying to date. Oh, what an awful thing. Trying to date. And I had created a value. One was the person couldn't smoke. Just, couldn't smoke. That was my thing. Yep. And so I would go to the bars back in those days, and I would look around the crowd, and I go, that one's cute. Then I go, they smoke. Forget it. They're out of the picture. They don't even get a chance. They don't get a chance for me. That's a value. That's the kind of thing I want you to look at. What is the value? I started to look at were my actions congruent to my authentic self, because I was becoming. I'm still becoming. That's why you laugh at me. I'm still becoming. And I also started to look at what's the impact I have on people. My actions, what does it do to somebody else? And as I have spiritually grown, I can see how important that is. I mean, all of you, I told you I'm speaking to the choir today. Your values, your spirituality, the work that you do has an impact on life. Thank you. But what happened as a result when I finally started to pull all this together is that my inner and my outer started to harmonize. Things started to go smoother. I'm probably going to go a little longer today. That's okay, because I think the last few times I've talked, I've let you go early, so not anymore. The next one was intention. We have to have intention behind this. How many of you have given up in the middle of your wanting to get? Given up in the middle of wanting to get it. We all have. Raise your hands again. We are not alone here. We all have stopped along the way. It's like playing the guitar. When you started playing the guitar, you were motivated by something, but your hands hurt. A lot. A lot. A lot. I played the violin. I know. A lot. And you had to continue through that until your hands got to a place where they're like, no, this is who I am. This is how I... And you're beautiful on your guitar. I'm like, wow. Just incredible. But that's how life is. It gets hard, and you got to push yourself through. So you have to have intentions. Intentions I put here. In fact, I made a slide of this because I thought it was so important. Intentions are influenced by our values. So the value was you wanted to play. You wanted to entertain people. Our values are the seeds from which our thoughts and words and actions grow. So the values are what's going to perpetuate you forward. I put this in because I think this is really valuable. The next one, which if our intentions are not in alignment with good of others and ourselves, and we have not healed the past, then we tend to make the same mistakes over and over. Anybody do that one? Oh yeah, good. I'm not alone. I know. To live out our intention, we must first have clarity around the values and deeply understand what truly matters to us. What kind of person we want to be with, or what kind of person we want to be in the world. This is why we make mistakes over and over, and we are learning what is important to us individually and how that operates in our world. We're going to make mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. But once we get it, our intentions naturally reflect these values and guide our choices and actions. Once we get it. And sometimes we get a little bit at a time. Right? It doesn't come all in one time. If it did, we'd be like, I'm done. But it don't happen that way. Then the last step is activation. Whoop, now you don't get that one. Activation's the manifestation of our inner work. It's the work that we do, and we start to see it out into our lives. We get to see how it works. It starts to bridge the gap between our words and ideas. It becomes who we are in the world. I just love this. This was in the writing, and I just love this quote. It's just, who we are is not static but fluid, as we are open to learning more about ourselves and the way we want to show up in the world. Our life doesn't stop. It continues on and on and on. Now, sometimes we want to take a big leap, and I think that's good, but I always like, it's like the rabbit and the turtle, right? Who won the race?
The turtle.
The turtle. By going step by step by step by step. You get to take a breath in between. I had this little thing I did with myself when I was going through this. I was 4 days spiritual, 3 days off.
That's great.
4 days spiritual, 3 days off. You know why? Because I had to figure it out. I had to go test the waters. I had to go make the mistakes. I had to feel the pain. So eventually I stopped doing it. So one of my values in my other businesses, I've been selling to college bookstores for over 35 years, is I give a buyer 3 chances. Now what I mean by that is not that they get 3 chances to buy from me, but 3 chances to screw me over. It's a value. By the 3rd time, that means you really don't want me in the beginning. You really don't. And so I don't do business with people like that. I do business with people who love me and I love them. I have one of my buyers in USC, I won't say who, but I'm not traveling as much and I really miss them. And so the only way I could get a hold of them was by texting. So last week I texted one of them and I said, I really miss you. Guess what came back? I miss you too. And it touched me because, it's really my value. And I think they're great young people, doing the work. So it's important that we get this. Your values are so important. And they lead you to places that are only good. They're not going to misdirect you. You have to believe in it. Oh, we have somebody new coming in. Hi. Oh. We have a new person here. Come on in. Surprise. Hi. Welcome. I think that's a value. You just walk in the door. Yes. So, all of this sounds like a lot. But can you relate to this? Can you relate to your process and where you've gone through and how you've changed and you've become better and then you did it again, right? Anybody done it again? I've done a lot. And then you did it again. But what happens is that you start to grow. And I said you make a lot of mistakes. I want to say something about mistakes. In my opinion, mistakes are important. Because you start to come back and go, wait a minute. That one didn't go down right. But mistakes are just mistakes. We give them more power than they really need to have. Instead, we have to be realize that the mistakes are a pattern. There's something that we've done a lot. And once we realize, oh, I don't have to do that again, we change. So it's funny, people have been referring books to me like crazy lately. And so I was just looking through Mark Nepo's Finding the Inner Courage. Yeah, you recommended that one. So, and I think I already have this book, but I bought it again anyway. Anyway, he has this one about breaking patterns. And it's funny because I didn't even know who wrote this. And I'm just zooming through it, right, like this. And there it was. I went, oh, I heard that when I was beginning, when I started. So it's a little story. And it won't take me but probably a minute to tell you. It says here, when feeling the press of patterns that govern our lives, these distinctions are muddy. Ooh, right? Often it is a slow and unclear process to move from unconscious repeating to conscious rehearsing. But this slow clarifying is a part of self-transformation. The process is powerfully distilled by Portia Nelson in her poem, Autobiography in 5 Short Chapters. Here are the chapters. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever for me to find my way out. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. You remember that? I fall in again. I can't believe it. I'm in the same place, but it's not my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it's there. I still fall in. It's now a habit. Ooh. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It's my fault. Oh, there's a shift. I get out immediately. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. I walk down a new street. That's what this is all about, walking down a different street. The thing is, it's, for me, and I think this is the same for you, the key is that we want to fulfill our life with meaning and purpose. You know, there's so many opportunities. I use this all the time, but I love the grocery store and the mom that's got a crying baby. How many people have been in the grocery store and seen that happen? All of us. It's walking up and looking at the baby in the eyes and saying, you're going to be okay. And looking at the mom and saying, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. So we have to be intentional. Ernest Holmes says this, though. There's one more step to this, because as we are going through this process over and over and over, is we have to be kinder to ourselves. And Ernest Holmes puts it beautifully. He says, compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in mutual understanding and in the unified attempt to uncover the divinity within each other. Compassion is the most gentle of all human virtues, for it is the outpouring of the divine givingness through all. You have to be kind to yourself, especially when you're uncovering. You know, give yourself some breath of air. You know, we teach a lot of things here in many different classes, and I like breaks. I like breaks because it's the 7-3 method, right? But you need to give yourself some time to kind of, you know, let it go. It's like, I don't want you to fill this out in one day. You have to let your mind be creative, your heart to be creative, and say, what's really important here for me? And then put it down. So this is the gift that I'm going to leave you with. I mentioned Melissa Felipe. She's a beautiful singer. And so I'm going to have you, we'll turn the lights down too, and Martin and I are going to work together on this. But she has a song, and I'm not sure, we'll see how long I play this, but But I want you to just listen to the song, and if you are so compelled to sing with her, feel like it. You may not in the beginning, but I think by pretty much halfway through you're going to go, I'm remembering who I am. And that's the name of the song. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and Martin, and then once this is over, then he's going to lower the volume, and then I'm going to pray us into the rest of the week, okay? So go ahead. So close your eyes.
I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering who I am.
And so as we come together today, it's about remembering who we are. That the divine moves through us, in us, and as us, in all the activity of our life. We are never alone. We are blessed. We are blessed because we have this consciousness that is infinite. It is moving through our hearts. It is blessing us in so many different ways. And so I know and accept today for each and every person here that we're remembering. We're remembering who we are. We're remembering Spirit is moving through us. We are remembering who we are in the world and how we can influence in a good way. And so I am just blessed today by being surrounded by those that remember who they are and that there is goodness in the world. No matter what the appearance out there is, there's only good, there's only good, and there's only more good. And so we can come together to celebrate that truth, to know that about ourselves, and not be afraid. And so I bless all of us, knowing that as we take this message of knowing who we are into the world, we shift ourselves and we shift others a little tiny bit at a time. We give each other the break that we need. We forgive each other. We say yes to God and yes to doing something greater. And so with that, I'm just grateful. And I release these words into the infinite law, knowing the law said yes. The law of mind. Our mind receives this and says yes. And so it is. Bring the volume back up, please. So just sit in that vibration right now. Remembering who you are. It's just that simple. And so it is. Thank you.